So I offered Wedge to do this review because he was having problems with his after action report at the very end with the improvement stuff, like what needed to be improved. So I figured, okay, all right, I'll come in and help him out. So this review is not going to be a step-by-step analysis of the whole battle. If you want that, go watch Wedge's after action report. I'll put that in the link below. He does a very good job of going through what happened in the battle and all the things that went wrong. Well, not all the things, but the tactical level stuff. In this video, I'm going to do the operational stuff because if Wedge tried to talk about it, it wouldn't really stick as hard because he doesn't have the actual real experience because he wasn't a part of most of the operations where we did the fleet level actions. So I'm gonna do that for him and just try put it all in one video because I've tried to do this many times in other videos and it's sort of all over the place. So I'm just gonna condense it all into this one review and take this one battle as a case study and explain to people how naval operations and systems, how they're supposed to work and how they can work. I'll show examples of where they do perform well and get results. So we're going to cover 4 things, and I'm going to try to be as brief as possible in each of these topics here and get through them without having to waffle on too much. So first off is operational intelligence. So Wedge comes to me the day before the operation and asks for my advice. This has become a normal occurrence for me ever since I stopped playing the game. Multiple people come to me and ask for consultation on Foxhole ops. So it is what it is. Basically, we had to go through the operational planning phase together, and this is where the first big problem occurs. The effective way to go about doing this is to have an intelligence officer. The role of the intel officer is to keep tabs on the enemy and provide mission targets and objectives to the field commanders. Why is this necessary? 2 big reasons why. First, it relieves pressure off the field commander who needs to prioritize his efforts on taking care of logistics, force organization, and other operational prep that needs to be done. Putting all the workload on a single guy is never a good idea, especially in the long run, which brings me to the second point, which is sustainability. By having the workload taken off the commander, he will be more inclined to run more ops frequently in the long run instead of burning out after every week or so. Also, having intel delegated to an officer usually encourages junior members to take initiative to conduct ops as well. So long as the intel officer knows what he is doing and doesn't generate mission objectives that are impossible to achieve, this usually does work out in the long run. It's a system that has worked very well in the past for me. Good intel officers don't restrict themselves to just scouting out enemy positions, but also set up listening kits prior to an operation, gather information from allies operating in that area, and sometimes intel officers can put together different pieces of information and provide a clearer picture to the field commander just as he's about to start his operation. The guys that I had working under me during my time as a regiment commander worked miracles, and there were a couple of fights that were influenced by their work, resulting in very favorable outcomes. It should be noted, however, that 90% of intel gathered usually never gets utilized, but it's that last 10% that can be invaluable. It should also be noted that very few people are cut out for this kind of work, and even fewer still are any good at it, so take what you may from this point.
The main mission was to patrol the friendly contested hexes, but we were also looking for targets to hit with our frigate. We had thought there was 2 Tier 2 bunker bases according to intel, but they turned out to be concrete. As we were hitting them, we destroyed some of the pieces and defenses, but soon to no avail, we decided to head out.
Now we come to the big bad topic which everyone struggles with, command and control. You cannot have effective command and control if you do not have effective communication. So let's first analyze the overall force composition of the battle in question and then look at the comm system that was in place. Now, Wedge did an impressive job of actually getting all these vessels mobilized for his operation. Granted, he couldn't get them all to concentrate in the way that he wanted to, but that's alright, that wasn't his fault. Now, as you can see, there was no real comm system in place to coordinate the fleet. Most of the intel passed along during the battle was made with map posts and local voice comms. Not exactly efficient. In order to get a fleet to properly coordinate, you're going to need at least 2 different communication apps. Discord is always the primary tool, but for the secondary level, you're going to need either TeamSpeak, Guilded, or even Steam voice chat. In 2024, there really isn't any excuse that holds up to avoid using any of these in conjunction with each other. It takes less than 5 minutes to get any of these apps working. Now, before anyone starts going after my boy here, it should be noted that Wedge has tried his best to get this type of system up and running, and it just turned out that he couldn't get it working for his op, so cannot be blame can't be put on him for failing to implement it. It's not easy. It took myself 2 weeks to get it worked out, and even then, I had a whole regiment that was on board ready to help me develop the system. So yeah, it is what it is. Now, the system of having multiple comms open at the same time is one thing, but having people actually know how to use it is another. The only way to figure it out is to actually try it out and get experience with it. Which brings me to this next sub point, is that the Sixth Swarm at the time of this operation actually had in its active roster 2 other guys who have combat experience operating a fleet in this manner. It was just due to unlucky circumstances that these 2 other guys had pretty much lost all interest in the game at this point. So yeah, could have, should have, would have. It was just the way things turned out. Good kill. Engineering all engines forward. Helm all ahead flank. Make a course bearing 077. One gunboat contact bearing 100. He's heading southeast east. He's running away. Merlin to all vessels. I've got 2 confirmed kills. I'm chasing down the last gunboat. He is east of Captain's Dread.
Understood.
Merlin to all vessels. Can you see where that last gunboat went?
No, I don't see the last. I don't see the last gun.
Roger that. We're gonna go around to the east side here. Can one of you guys check out the north of our position, to the left of us? The gunboat, just stay close to us. I need a scout to check out the north of Captain's Dread. Everything north of Captain's Dread to the border. The other gunboat, just stay close to me.
We don't have any scouts. We are on the battleship.
I accidentally hopped out of the cannon.
Wait, who's on? Who are the 2 gunboats that are here then? Is Dennis and
Tower, yeah, it's mine. It's both gunboats is mine. One
okay, alright.
With you and my gunboat going on the north for now.
Roger that. Thank you very much. Merlin to all vessels. I'm going to engage that last gunboat at the Tusk. I'm going to break through the blockade and then kill him.
Understood. Okay.
Helm all reverse. But the potential to actually have it tried out for the first time, it was there. By having the ability to control his forces, there is no doubt that several parts of the engagement could have been avoided entirely. Which brings me to the next point. So Wedge has already conducted gunboat operations with recon elements, so this isn't a new concept to the Six. The problem is developing it further to the point where it becomes operationally useful. Recon commanders like intel officers are a rare breed. Very few people have interest in it, and even fewer still are any good at it. In my experience, a single recon unit is all you need to gain a decisive advantage in a naval operation. On paper, Wedge did have the manpower available to deploy a single 2-man recon team, but as I have said, it takes a special kind of fella to actually pull it off, and there weren't any at the time of the operation for it to be deployed. So, unlucky once again. It's just how the cards fell. This is Merlin. We are going to engage a warden gunboat at Agoza.
A firm, we are right behind it. Do you want us to go check ahead?
Yes, please. After you've identified him, call it in, and then please take up a screen behind me and to the left. That's southwest of our position, basically. But I've got a warden gunboat contact at the east of our seaport. He's mobile. I have lost sight, but he's moving.
A firm, don't go any closer. That's coastal gun range.
Roger that, understood. I'm going to try wait for him to get somewhere open, and then we'll engage him. Could you go to like the Pig Island area? Just check out that channel side.
A firm. Merlin, this is
okay,
Brett.
I'll stop us here. Yeah, go ahead, Brett.
We were killed by the coastal gun, but we're back in Tempest Isles. Would you like us to go anywhere specific now?
Wait, which coastal gun killed you? The one at Isawa?
Yeah, the one at Isawa. But we're back, so is there anywhere you need us to go?
Could you hang out south of Pig Island then? That should be a safer area for you,
piece of rock.
and you should be in a good position to give us warning if a gunboat
Next to the
swarm
oil field.
deploys there.
Sure.
And now we come to the final point, experience. As crews gain more operational experience, fewer mistakes will be made. During the operation, it should be noted that the helmsman made some amazing calls. I don't know who his name was, but during the retreat back to the port, the kind of initiative and the ability to read the situation properly as to take the necessary actions that helps the commander achieve his intentions is very rare and is very important. During the heat of battle, where you might sometimes have to counter an order without actually undermining the overall authority and the overall intentions of the commander, is a true mark of a very good team player.
Slow down, slow down, slow down.
No, we need speed. They need to figure it out.
However, I do wish to point out some of the more serious mistakes that can be immediately rectified at the time of this recording. First is the overall comms discipline on the frigate. It may sound like LARPing at first, but my regiment has found that making callouts like military units actually does pay off during an operation, especially in the heat of battle. You can hear in several parts of the after-action report, Wedge's after-action report that is, where orders are issued, but they are not properly acknowledged or relayed, and they result in mistakes. The first good example of this mistake being made is at the very end, where Wedge tries to get helm control and engineering to maneuver the ship into the anchorage to escape the destroyer. Wedge talked to the engineer after the battle, and he confirmed that orders were getting mixed up between helm control and engineering, which resulted in the engines not being in the proper positions to enable the escape. Granted, the ship had already taken some serious damage at that point and was unable to maneuver as well as it could have, but I am fairly confident that with just a few seconds of proper timing, it could have changed the overall result, and the frigate might have been able to have been saved.
All reverse. All ahead. All reverse.
All reverse.
Reverse, I'm trying. I'm not getting any feedback.
You, Callum.
Trying.
W while turning us.
Yep, trying to get us around. It's just everything's backwards now, so it's a little bit screwy.
Focus one compartment, guys. Just one compartment is enough.
Engineer's back. Do I need to put them on reverse?
Yeah, both forward. Both
All forward.
The second good example of the failure of comms was during the crossing into Nevish line. There were several seconds that were lost due to the firing of the ship's secondary weapons. In hindsight, it could definitely have enabled the escape of the frigate at the very end. It could have bought some extra time. But yeah, it's just what it is.
180.
Weapons fired.
Hazi, 180.
Stop shooting.
No shooting.
Don't shoot.
No shooting. Don't shoot. We're trying to cross. Stop shooting.
Overall, I have to say Wedge performed admirably. To be honest, I didn't think he was quite capable of pulling off what he managed to pull off in this operation. I've known this kid for like 2 years now, and when I first met him, he was an annoying little brat. He still kind of is, but he's learned a hell of a lot, and he definitely has potential to do great things. The fighting retreat of the frigate and the several gunboat ambushes that happened on the way back is very impressive. I know of many large ship captains and other fleet instances where the odds faced were of lesser scale, but still resulted in the total loss of large ships. So Wedge's ability to keep his ship alive for that long under those circumstances pretty much puts him above 90% of the large ship captains I've seen play the game so far. I have stated at the beginning of this video, on the immediate tactical sense, there isn't much to improve on, hence why Wedge's after-action report kind of glossed over that point. Most of the problems were at the operational level, which can't be rectified overnight, and they're not that clear and apparent to everyone. But hopefully I've pointed out all the major points that can be worked on if people choose to do so. Remember, there's no right or wrong way to play a game. As long as you have fun, then that's the point of the game. But I do know that Wedge and a few other guys in the 6 kind of do want to take their game to the next level. So hopefully this helps point them in the right direction. Helm, hard left rudder, 180.
Left side, not from the task. Not from the task.
Roger that. Okay, they found it north of Tusk. Helm, hard left rudder, get us around 180.
He's next to my gunboat.
Roger that. I'm coming to your position now. Damage control the bridge to damage control. We're chasing down a submarine. We found it to the north of Tusk.
Copy that.
Still better, all hit.
On the radar. It's on the radar.
Can you repeat course?
Hard right rudder.
They approaching here.
All hit flank. All hit forward. Contact enemy battleship. My position.
Oh,
All forward. All forward.
we have 3 contacts.
All forward. All forward. I need assistance. I need assistance.
Yeah, we are on the way.
What is your position? Damage control. We are getting shot at by a battleship.
5 contacts,
L15. L15.
Copy that, we're repairing.
Butter. Helm, make a course bearing 180. Damage control report.
3 section getting fixed right now. Water flooding in. We're handling it.
Hard left rudder. Hard left rudder. Enemy battleship now bearing 357, range 200. He's chasing us.
We are L14
All hit forward.
right now. L14.
These are friendly, I think. Yeah.
We're approaching L13 right now.
One less gunboat enemy have.
Oh, it's a
Are
friendly
we
battleship.
escaping or
Oh
fighting
my
them?
god.
We got a lot of good hits on them. I suggest engage. I will stay with you.
Right, copy.
We are going to engage. Stand by 180 to hard left rudder. Engineering standby reverse left engine.